Blackbird, Volume 1, The Great Beast, created by Sam Humphries and Jen Bartel. Blackbird is rated teen plus by its publisher and is suggested for readers aged 15 and older. It does include themes of broken families, drug and alcohol, mild profanity, and moderate violence. Let's get into the story. Nina Rodriguez is a teenager living in Los Angeles with her family. They call her Crazy Baby for her eccentricities, including her premonition that an earthquake is about to strike. Well, it does. Nina and her sister Marissa are in danger when suddenly a magical feline appears and rescues them, and then uses magic to make everyone forget that it was ever there, except for Nina. Nina's family falls apart in the wake of the earthquake. Her cat runs away, her dad leaves, her mom dies, and her grandmother forgets she even existed. At the same time, Nina's having to cope with the fact that she's the only one who remembers this magical beast. Nina does not cope well with all these changes. She turns to drugs and alcohol and barely manages to graduate from high school. She knows she isn't living a healthy life, but she's just stuck in a cycle. When the magical feline that had once saved Nina and her sister reappears, Nina is ecstatic. She's not a crazy baby. Magic is real. But the feline just kidnaps her sister and disappears. Nina is once again bereft at the loss of both her one remaining family member and access to magic. She becomes obsessed with finding her sister. In the search to rescue her sister, Nina must overcome her addictions and find strength within herself. When she does access this world of magic, she's met with a series of new challenges, new allies, new enemies, a potential love interest, but also some family betrayals and dark secrets that have been hidden from her. It's strange because people in this world seem to know who she is, and they call her Blackbird, and they seem to know her mom. What's going on? As a fan of fantasy novels, I was drawn in by the synopsis. If this were a book written in prose, the synopsis would be enough to get me to read it. But once I saw the cover and the artwork, I was hooked. The book's art is filled with bright, neon colors that help to emphasize and define the characters. Light and shadow are used to great effect in this book, helping to define facial expressions, body language, motion, and magic. The choice of layout and panel design is also very effective in Blackbird. Beyond the stunning covers, I really like the splash pages, often combined with a single panel. We can see what the character sees, but we also get to see the character's reactions. This works as a visual cue to the reader to take a moment, like the character is doing, to take it all in and appreciate the artwork and what it can tell us about their world. That's one of the great things about comics and graphic novels. We don't always need words to read the story. Text is also put to great use in this book, especially with Nina's internal dialogue, which helps readers connect with her. For some readers, Nina might not be an empathetic character. She has a drug addiction, and her own sister calls her a loser and lazy. She's had some successes, but they've been few and far between. However, her internal dialogue helps readers to understand the choices she makes and how she struggles with her thoughts and emotions. The plotting of the story is fast-paced and a bit overwhelming at times. Nina is trying to come to terms with the world of magic and piece together snippets of information to understand the whole. She's often frustrated by others, including her family, who tells her what to do, mainly go home and forget about magic, but won't tell her why. As a reader, I was a bit frustrated by this at times too. When were we going to get more information? And honestly, it's not just Nina seeking out magic, it's coming to her too, so kind of hard to just ignore. Through the artwork, we do see that there's been a lot of world building, but unfortunately, we don't learn many details until later in the book. I would have appreciated learning more sooner. At the same time, it helps us to empathize with Nina, who's frustrated about the lack of information as well. Finally, I appreciate the diversity and inclusivity seen in Blackbird. One of the co-creators and artists, Jen Bartel, identifies as a queer Asian American. Her main character, Nina, appears to be of Hispanic descent, though her mother looks like she could be of Asian descent. The characters we meet, both main characters and those in the backgrounds of scenes, depict the diversity of ethnic heritage and sexual preference. This book, and specifically the magic, are filled with beautiful and stylish people, confident in themselves. Because of this level of diversity and inclusivity, the ambiguity works to set the book in a very modern Los Angeles, a diverse metropolitan city. Ultimately, Nina is less defined by her ethnic heritage than her own personality and style, as well as the many challenges that she's confronted with. Overall, I enjoyed this book. I really loved the artwork. It's so beautiful. There's great use of panels and text boxes. The plotting could use some improvement. Sometimes it was a bit fast, sometimes a bit slow.
It took a while to reach some of the conclusions, but I really did empathize with Nina as a character, with her challenges and her frustrations.
She, in the end, found a place for herself in this world, but I do hope that the story continues and we can learn more about her in the future.